Hello everyone and welcome to the Waffle Flower channel. It's Shannon here, and today I'm going to be using this stamp set. This stamp set is called Doily Circle. I'm going to be using just this stamp set today. I know it's very unusual for me. I'm going to stamp the sentiment on a A2 card base. This is made out of black cardstock, 110-pound black cardstock. I just applied some anti-static powder and now I'm inking up my sentiment in embossing ink. I'm going to stamp it a couple times since it is in my MISTI and it's very easy to do, and this way I can ensure I get a nice solid coverage of the embossing ink. So one more time here, and then I'm going to emboss this in a silver embossing powder. I'm starting with the sentiment today because I found that this was the best way to get a pleasing arrangement of the doilies, is to get my sentiment first and then stamp my doilies around it. So that's where I'm starting my sentiment, which is very different for me. It feels very weird. I almost always start by making my background or my images first and then incorporate my sentiment. So kind of working a little bit backwards, but actually this worked out really well. So I just got to keep this in mind sometimes for my layouts. Okay, so right now I'm doing a little cleanup. I had a little hair stuck to my stamp, and so it ended up getting embossing ink on it, which meant it got some embossing powder on it. So I'm just doing a little cleanup. First I used a brush, and now I'm using the needle from Spellbinder's die cutting tool. This tool is just used to poke out your dies from your die cuts from your dies. But I'm just using that to kind of fine tune, make sure all the letters are very distinguishable so you can really read the sentiment. And what you don't see here is I did have my heat gun warming up for quite a while before I started to heat set my sentiment. This ensures that I have less warping, so that's why you see a lot of card makers heat their tool or talk about heating up their heat guns so they reduce the amount of warping that they have. Okay, so that's all done. Now I'm going to stamp the doily. So this is the doily that comes in the Doily Circle stamp set. I'm just stamping it in Memento ink, and yes, I am stamping it in black ink on black cardstock. I'm doing this because I will eventually cover this up with, I'm going to be using the Kinarina wink markers. We just recently did a video on these markers. I stamped that 3 times, so that was nice and dark so I can see it, because Memento ink dries. When it dries, it gets a little bit lighter, and I'm going to be working on this card for a little while, and I want to make sure that I can still see it when the ink dries. So here are the markers. Here are the Kinarina wink markers. These markers are so cool. We just did a video on these for our 3-year celebration. We had a giveaway with these markers, and I am having so much fun with these markers. They're just really cool. And the awesome thing about these markers is they show up really well on dark cardstocks, even black cardstock. So these markers are just really cool. And the flow is really nice. No clogging, just really fun markers to color and work with. So I'm using an arrangement, a rainbow arrangement of markers today. I'm using these 8 colors. The purple is violet, the red is old rose, pink is baby pink, the orange is orange, yellow is lemon yellow, the green is lime green, then there's like a emerald green, and then a sky blue. So those are all the colors. I arranged them there in the circle so you could see that I'm kind of thinking of my rainbow of colors is in a circle sequence. So I can start at any point in the circle and know the next color in the sequence. So I'm going to start with purple, or the violet marker, and what I'm doing today is I'm going to do a dot art or dot painting inspired card. So I am taking these markers and just making little dots directly on top of the stamped line of the doily, and then I will do a gradation. So I'll kind of go from purple, well, I'll basically be doing a rainbow, not really a gradation. I'll be going from purple, which is violet, to the old rose, to the baby pink, to the orange, to the lemon yellow, to lime green, to emerald green, to sky blue. So I'm going to go through all 8 of my colors on this doily, but starting with this violet. And of course this whole art is inspired by Aboriginal art, but there's a lot of people doing modern artworks with this dot style, and they're just really pretty. And yes, there's a lot of dots, but I really enjoy doing this. If you're really a detail person and you really like to sit and just work on something, and this is very easy work. It's not hard to do. It just kind of takes a little bit of time, but I really enjoyed working on this. In fact, I made 4 cards total because I just really enjoyed doing these little dots. I found it very relaxing. It's kind of mindless. You can just kind of, it's just like it kind of goes along with the whole coloring movement. Everybody really is enjoying coloring, doing coloring books and things like that. This is just very simple because there's no, I find it even more relaxing because there's no gradation or shading that I'm trying to do or trying to achieve realism. This is just really simple, pretty coloring, but not in the traditional sense, but in doing dots. So I really enjoyed this, but I can definitely see how some people would think, oh my gosh, she's crazy. I totally get that, but I did really enjoy doing this. So right now I'm working on the red color, which is Old Rose, and then I will move on to the pink, and I will continue along down through my rainbow of colors till I get to my last color, which is Sky Blue. So while I'm working on this, I'm going to speed it up. Well, it is sped up for you guys, but I'm going to play some music, and then we'll meet back up with you at the end when I finish it up, this doily all up. So I hope you guys enjoy. Hi guys, so I'm back. I'm finishing up this doily here with the last color, which is Sky Blue, and then I'll move on to one of the other doilies. But you can see there, you got a nice pretty gradation, really, really beautiful. I really like doing this. Okay, so now I'm going to, so I pulled out my acetate that I use, my grade acetate when I line up my stamps and stuff on my MISTI. I pulled that out just to kind of use, if I feel the need that I need to put my hand on top of the doily that's all done, I can place that on top of the doily to protect it so I don't accidentally kind of pick up any of that color or anything. So that's why I have that out. And now, like I was talking before, I'm thinking about my rainbow in a circle. So I'm starting with the emerald green color, which is kind of like looks almost like a teal color. And then I'll move on to that blue right there, which is what I ended with, the sky blue. And then I'll go back around to violet, then to the red, Old Rose, the baby pink, orange, yellow, lime green, and emerald, and that's where I'd end. So there you go, that's the finished card. I did the other doily, I just started with a pink, the baby pink instead. So that's, just want to make sure you understand, that way I don't have the same color. And I don't always start with the same color. Now this one I just did one doily. So if you're thinking, no, I want to try this, but I don't want to do 3, I totally understand that. So you could just do 1 doily and try it out that way and be done with just 1. And it looks beautiful that way too. So I hope you guys enjoyed my video today. If you want any more info on the products I use, please visit waffleflower.com, and you can follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook for more creative ideas. Thanks for watching.